Right, let's get started. So for today, I want to show you how to actually publish a Python package. So this will be like laying the foundation. You're trying to build a house. So today is basically building the foundation, and then later you can build the house on top of the foundation. So just like publishing an app on App Store or Android Play Store, whatever you like. And so, and the lab assignment for this week will be about like creating a package and make it available on GitHub and also on PyPI. So I'm going to show you step by step. And before I get into that, I would like to remind you that make sure you come to class because sometimes the recording doesn't work and then you are screwed. Okay, if you miss the class, it happens before. So I just want to let you know I'm recording the class, but don't use that as an excuse to not come to class, because if it's something happen, the recording doesn't work, you have to figure out on your own. Okay. For this class, it's more about practicing. It's a lot of steps. There are not a lot of reading material. You can go online. You can find it, figure out by yourself. But it's very important you come to the class and hands-on practice. Okay. So don't miss class. If you really have to, that's fine. But again, if the recording doesn't work, don't blame me, okay? So it's your own responsibility. And but I just want to let you know it will happen. Definitely will happen throughout the semester. It happens before, previously. So I just want to make note that you don't want to miss some critical steps. So for today, we're going to publish package. So I put on some steps in here just to show you some of the key steps. You can always go back to watch the video, but today we want to move slowly, so make sure that you can follow through today, that you can publish in class. And then for the lab assignment, you're going to create another one. So today is just for you to practice, and you can have any like so-called dummy package on GitHub and PyPI. So, and here the steps looks quite complicated, but once you get used to it, you can publish package in 5 or 10 minutes. It's just like a template, but you need to spend time to actually add functionality to the package. That's what we're going to do throughout the semester. But today is just to laying out the foundation, and then you can do whatever you want. So before I get into detail, I'd like to show you what kind of structure, right? So when we talk about a Python package, when you're installing a Python package, what are you actually installing? What kind of file structure you need to have in that package in order to be recognized as a Python package. Just like you are downloading an application from the internet to your computer on Windows, right? And you're trying to double click to install. What comes in your mind? Like what kind of file extension it needs to be in order to be able to double click and install? EXE, right? On Windows EXE, maybe MXI or something, right? What about Mac computer? What kind of file extension needs to be? Right? Anyone? I know some of you have a Mac computer, right? What's the file extension, right? DMG or something? Remember, right? Or it can be a zip file, you can unzip. But Python package is pretty much the same. What makes up a Python package, right? So first we need to go through that, and I can show you an example. Let's go to maybe, let me just open maybe leaf map here. So if you go to the GitHub, just take a look at this one here. And this is basically the entire repo. We're going to create something similar using the template. But I would like to show you like what's the key component you need to have in order to be recognized a package. So you can think about this is the root directory, this is the folder. And from all the files in here, which one do you think is the most critical one in order to be recognized as a Python package, right? So when you open a folder, you're looking at a file. When you're trying to install, for example, when pip install leafmap, what actually is install? What is the pip install doing? Where does those instructions coming from? Right? If you're just looking at these files, you think like what kind of files it needs to be? Anyone want to guess?
Requirements.
Requirements?
Setup.py.
Yeah, you have to keep on. So this one, the setup.py, this is the one, this is the key. This is basically the door into the package. So look at this one, requirements.txt actually is like, if you don't have to necessarily have this one, but if you have any dependencies, you can have, so you're going to install a bunch of stuff. So this is the door, it's basically entry into the package. And inside that, it gives instruction, what, when you're installing pip install, what is actually installing, right? You're installing all the source code, but you can have package just with just one setup.py. This okay. So if you see, we click inside, you will see import something, and then it's trying to open the requirement.txt and also open other file, and then it's going to loop through, and after that it's going to install all kind of packages. Okay, so essentially you can think about the component here. The package itself, all the source code are contained within these so-called modules in here. So a package can have multiple modules or can have just one module. And so essentially what it's going to do, first it's going to open this setup.txt, and then it's going to find the instructions there. If you have a requirements.txt, you are asking Python to open the requirements.txt to read all the packages and then install the so-called dependencies. Once it finishes installing the dependencies, then we install the source code itself. Okay, so what this one is doing, open this one and then read this requirements.txt, install all these so-called dependencies, and then install the source code of all the stuff in here. So this is what you're going to look for. For example, right now I can show you, right? We use mamba install, conda install, and also what else? Pip install. Where is actually installing? So let me show you where are they located. So if you know like inside out what a package is, this is going to make your life easier. So queue this one, and then I believe we under me conda, right? So all the packages previously create this environment. So let me show you GOS, and then if you click under libs, no libs. Let me see, maybe this one. Yeah, the uppercase lib, and if you scroll down, side packages. Okay, all the packages that we install actually are being installed in here. This is the file path. So you need to think about this is the environment when you conda activate GOS, right? And then lib side packages. Everything is actually in here. So when you install something, it comes to here. If you need to figure out, for example, what's the version, if there are any missing file, if you want to deal with that, you can. But normally you don't have to. So you can think about this as just like the start menu. Look at all the files, but you don't want to manually edit something unless you know what to do. Sometimes you can miss stuff, but most of the package is actually just like a folder and then another folder dist info something. So if you scroll down, if you already installed leafmap before, you should be able to find it from here. So LEF, right? Look at this. So when we're installing pip install leafmap, it's going to install this one here, and sometimes we create another one. So you can see the version here, 0.15 something, and if you click inside, look at here, right? And these folders you are seeing here is exactly what's on the website. Or you can clone this one to your computer. It's actually installing all the stuff in here. And those dependencies in the requirements.txt is installing outside the folder itself. So you are basically install simultaneously multiple packages. Yourself, this package you're installing is installing the source code. For other packages, you're installing dependencies. So you don't have to worry about other stuff. But let me show you, if I open this one here, again, oops. The requirements.txt is just to show you what happens in here. So think about here, requirements.txt, right? BQ pro, color, volume, and other stuff, right? So when it's installing, after you finish the leafmap, you should also be able to find, for example, BQ pro. If I find out this one here, so it's all in here. So every package, if you go in there, after install, there's no setup.py, okay? The file is only used when for installation, and after you finish the installation, you will just see the file within the directory. So there's no more setup.exe here, right? So if I go back to here again, pip install is going to, everything here is a zip file, okay? And then it's going to look for this one, and then see if they have any dependencies. And if not, it's just going to copy all the stuff from this directory to here. So next step, let me go a little bit further, just to show you like when you are pip installing, what exactly are those instructions, right? I know the file being hosted is on GitHub, is on PyPI. Sometimes people call PyPI, whatever you want. But let me show you here leaf map, right? And so when you pip install, you're actually installing from here, not from GitHub. So what this one is doing, if you can come here, download files, it's actually downloading this file and then put into the computer, unzip it, and then pip install that setup.py and then do that. So if you see here, we have a release history, right? Depends on the version. Sometimes we have pip install and then just leaf map is going to install the latest one, but you can leaf map double equal to a version number, is going to download a specific one. So let's say, okay, there's some bugs in the latest version. I want to install an older version. Then if you click here and then you go to download files, you will see leaf map, right? -0.16. So essentially, all the versions you can think about is actually downloading a file from somewhere. So they say right now is the latest one 16. Maybe let me go back to here. So one more time, download files, right? 0.17.1. If I download this one, so you can just pip install, or you can download this one to a local computer and then you can install from a local computer. Think about if you're working from an environment without internet access, right? You cannot use pip install and then just for the package name because there's no internet. But you can pip install and then navigate to directory name and then you can install from there. So assume right now here, right? If you open, this is the one I downloaded. So if you double click, take a look at this. This file exactly what I showed you earlier on GitHub. It's hosted on GitHub, but when it's pip installed locally, it's going to find this one and then open the requirement.txt. You don't have to have a requirement.txt. It's optional. And then it's going to copy all the files, right? Look at these two, and then copy into the con.env. That's it. And then that means that now you have this package. So this is essentially the file structure. You might have other files in here. It's not always, some of them might be required, but I already forgot like which one required because I created a template. Now I don't have to worry about under the hood which file I need to include, which file I need to exclude. So, but throughout the semester, you have a much better idea how you can actually create this one. So what we're going to do today is to show you how to put this one on PyPI or on GitHub. And then you can install it by yourself. You can also install packages from anyone, right? It's the same, basically the same procedure. Once you get used to it, you can publish a lot of packages, okay? So it's up to you what you want to do. And the email I sent you yesterday asking you to choose a name, it's okay today if you have not made up your mind what name it needs to be. You can take time to think about that. But today in class, you can just use whatever name you like. But keep in mind, you want to choose a name that's professional, and that's going to be descriptive, short and descriptive, and it's going to be useful. Okay, don't use all numbers, don't use something offensive. Okay, you want other people to use the package, so you know, make sure that it's something useful. And so let me see if I can show you some of the packages I published, right? I don't know how many, 23. So I published 23 packages on there. Some of them are still actively being developed. Some are probably I have not updated for a while. But and also you see whether you are the only owner or you have some collaborators. And also you see this one here, critical projects. So this kind of like project designated by PyPI as the critical project. That means you are among the top 1% downloads during the past 6 months. So you can think about like App Store, right? Every half a year they release, okay, top 5 apps, something like that. So it's similar. So if you have a project that's designated as a critical project, that means many projects depends on this one. So because it has a lot of downloads, and you cannot just like delete the stuff, okay? It has protection. It won't allow you to remove that. So this is more like permanent. It's always going to be there. So they make sure that other projects rely on this one. They can always, even if you don't update, that's fine, but it needs to be there to at least make sure things can be reproduced later, or if people need to install the package. So what you're essentially going to do is to create something like this. And you can try to come up with a name. Some of the names that like GS remote sensing, whatever, most likely have been chosen. So you won't be able to use that. You can use some hyphen. If that's the case, you can choose a name and then have some hyphen, but you don't want to choose a name that's very long. So think about when you pip install the name, you don't want to like type like 20, 30 characters. It needs to be short enough, but also descriptive. So now you should have something in mind, what kind of function you want to add to your package later throughout the semester. So you want to have some name kind of tied to the package. So when people look at the package, they can kind of understand like what it might be. But yeah, use your imagination. If you don't have one, this one is fine, but take some time to think about, but you need to have one sometime next week, right? When you do the lab assignment. For today, you can use whatever name you like. It doesn't matter. It's just for practice. Okay. So, and after next week, you should have at least 2 projects in here. Okay. One for practicing, the other one for real. Okay. And you can repeat the same step that you learned today in class. Any questions? All right. So now you know the structure. We get into more detail how you can actually write code in there. But for today, we just create a template. That's it. There's no functionality in your package yet. That's fine, but it's just like an empty shell, and you just want to occupy the name. So now if you have a good name, it's the time to put your stuff in there. Once it's taken, nobody else can take the name. Okay, so it's yours. Next, come back to here, and these are some of the critical steps I want to show you how to create one. And so we already finished. I assume you already have something in mind. If you don't, that's fine. Register for a PyPI account. Have you all got an account? If not, do it right away. You will need that later. And now here, activate the contact environment, install cookie cutter. So it's a package name. Cookie cutter basically means like a package allow you to create a template based on someone already provided. You will practice it later. And Twine is a package by Python that allow you to upload package from your computer to the PyPI. Basically allow you to publish package on there. So we're going to use this, and I create the template. So we're going to use the template package template that I created. So for now, what we need to do is to try this one. You can probably use Mamba. I'm not sure, but it's okay to just use Pip because these are very tiny packages. So all we need to do, follow through, make sure you practice. Don't just watch, okay? You need to get that done in class. So just copy this one, pip install, whatever you like, and then open your terminal, whatever, or your conda prompt, whatever you like. So next step, activate the conda environment. Okay, so we'll be conda activate whatever environment name that you use. Okay, and then just simply right click. It should automatically paste the code, and then just hit enter. It should install this cookie cutter. So this is basically a nice one that allows you to, you can think about you have a folder structure you want to replicate on other locations. Let's think about you have a project. You know there's a folder name, there's a project name, there's a file, whatever. It has a bunch of files. So we're going to replicate this one. You can use this as template, and I will replicate. But I want to allow you to change some parameters. So for example, I have a package folder, have some names. I want to replace the name with the name that you like, so that I don't have to repeat creating the files again and again. So this is basically a shortcut. Finish this one. Any issues? No? Yes?
I activated my environment, then I pasted it, and it went to the next line, and it's not like running anything.
Do you press enter?
I did. Or wait, just good.
Is it working now?
Yeah, I guess I have to press it. Like
okay, yeah, sometimes you have to repress it twice, but make sure that you see it's successfully installed. Any issues? Okay. Yes?
My environment won't activate.
Yeah, you need to make sure that you activate all the time when you open it. Yeah. What's happening? Conda activate. Yeah, conda activate. And then the name. Yeah, practice. Those commands you should be very familiar. Okay. Anyone issues? No? Okay, and then let me clear the console. Next step here, it will be this one, cookie cutter. So don't run yet, okay? Don't move too fast. Copy this one, and then figure out where you want to save the directory, where you want to save the location. Because right now I open under the downloads directory, but you can use whatever directory, right? So let me clear everything here. It's better to find a folder that's empty, okay? Don't have other stuff. So and also try not to have a file path has space or other special characters. Try to have something like simple, because sometimes you need to cd into that directory. If you have space and other special characters, sometimes it's causing trouble. So for me, for example, I just put in maybe my documents folder. I think it will be better. So under my documents, and then I can right click, open the terminal again, or you can just cd, change the directory, and then we're going to activate the conda environment again. Okay, so here I will just conda activate GOS. Okay, what happened? Conda. Okay. Bless you. So again, navigate to whatever directory you want to save the package, save the folder. Okay, and then once you are here, you just right click. Okay, cookie cutter, and then GH. So basically, this one from GitHub. It's going to my account, and it's going to pull the stuff. Okay, if you want to see like what that one is, I can show you here. Right click, open. This is actually the package. So actually, I fork the package from someone else, but I make some changes. So this is basically a package template that I created. It's going to make your life easier because I have all the structures already created. So essentially, you will see here, this is the package, and this is what you're going to look for, right? You have the two curly brackets and the cookie cutter, the GitHub repo name, and inside you want to see the file structure. So when we are copying, basically we are copying the file, all the file structure from here, and we're just going to replace whatever name that you choose for project. In that way, your file structure that you're going to get, you're going to exactly the same as mine. Okay, so you see here a bunch of files. In that way, you don't have to manually create those. And also we're going to have a documentation website, so everything is already built in. It's much easier rather than if you go to create by yourself, I mean manually. Okay, again, you don't have to worry too much. I'm going to show you step by step. So once we're here, press enter. It should take some time to grab the source code. Okay, so now this is where you customize. Can you see the screen? And this is where you want to customize. So the package, your name, put your real name. Okay, don't make up, because essentially after you publish package, you want people to know you, it's coming from you. So you should put your real name in here. So I'm going to put my name, and then your email. Okay, the email that you use for your GitHub account. So it needs to be the same, because when people try to reach you, you want to have an email. So I'm going to put my Gmail here. It's okay if you have typo, you can change it later, but try to make it correct. Your GitHub username, again, it needs to be real, because later you're going to push this one to GitHub. So I'm going to use my GitHub username. Don't run too fast, okay? Follow me step by step. Once you pass that, you cannot go back, but you can start from scratch if you like. So the project name, okay? So this one is very important. As I said, your project name can be just a character, whatever thing you want to come up with. Right now, you can use any name. It's just a dummy name. That's fine. But for your lab assignment, you will need to have a real one. So if the name is too long, or you can have a hyphen in between. Okay. So, but usually, if you can come up with something that has not been taken, so make sure you check the name on PyPI and conda first, just like the email I sent. If it's already taken, you cannot use it. Okay. So let me come back to here again, right? Search the projects. Search the name you want to use. If I say, for example, Gmap is already there, you cannot use it. So GEO demo, I think this is the one that I used last time. I cannot use it again. It's already taken. So find the name that's not being used. So I'm going to say maybe GOS demo. Okay, it's not taken. Looks good. I'm going to use this one. Don't use the same name, okay? Because I'm taking this. Don't use the same name, otherwise you won't be able to push to GitHub. So for me, I'm just going to use this simple one called GOS demo. Okay, you can have a hyphen, you can have anything. So come up with any name that has not been taken on PyPI. If you have a hyphen, for example, hyphen whatever you like, it's not the same name. It's fine. So I'm just going to use this one. Hit enter, and the GitHub repo name. You will see here by default it's going to use this one. So essentially you're going to create a folder, the same name. It can be different, but usually you want to keep the same name as your package name, so that your root directory is the package folder. So just press enter, and the project Slack. Okay, so this is the one a little bit confusing. The package name you can have a hyphen, but the package Slack basically when you are importing the package, it will always be underscore. So if you see the underscore, don't change it to hyphen. Hyphen is not accepted. So a hyphen, you can think about when you are naming a variable in Python, you cannot use a hyphen as a variable name in your variable name. Okay, it needs to be underscore is accepted. So this one, if you have a hyphen in here, you're going to be underscore. Just accept it. Don't make changes. Otherwise, you're going to mess up. Okay. So hit enter, and this is where you can write a description for your package. So the description is going to show up later on the package website. So just write a short description and then press enter. So I will see here, for example, Python package for interactive mapping, whatever. Okay, and then period. Press enter. And then your PyPI username. Okay, so this one it depends on your case. For me, the username, the PyPI username is the same as my GitHub username. But if it's different, then you need to put this one, because later you want to push this one to PyPI. So make sure you enter the correct one. Whatever name you use, register for the PyPI. Okay, for me it's the same. So I'm going to enter this one, and then the version. Okay, as I mentioned before, in Python package, usually the version naming convention is like major, minor, and page. Okay, so for right now we don't really have anything. It's okay to like 0.0, 0.01. That's fine. You can use 1.0, whatever you want, but usually start from like a small page, and then if you add something, you can bump the version. We will show you how to increase the version. For example, ArcGIS 10.7, 10.8. Okay, ArcGIS Pro 3.0, 2.9 something. It's going to increase. So for now, you just use the default one, the small number. Use PyText text. You don't have to, just ignore. And then add this one base. You can just ignore. Just press enter and then create author file. I don't have to, just press enter. And the last one here, select command line interface. If you want, you can, but I'm just going to select number one. There's other like version here. So command line essentially means that when you develop Python package, right? For leaf map, for example, you need to import leaf map and then do something. Command line, that means you don't have to get into the Python console. You can just on your terminal, you can just type, for example, conda, activate something. That one is a so-called a command line, okay? Because you don't need to get into the Python environment. You just write the command. So let's go command line. But for our case, let's just keep the default number one, and then select open source licenses. Unless you know what you are doing, right now you are not there yet, so don't worry about too much. Just select the MIT license. That's the most one of the most commonly used is MIT license. Means it's free open source. You can use my package for whatever purpose you want. You can use for commercial, personal. But if it causes damage, don't come back to sue me. I'm not reliable for that. Okay. But there are other packages, other licenses that require you to give me credits or require me to get license from me if you use for commercial purposes, right? So think about, there are a lot of patents, big tech companies that are producing those packages being used by millions of people, and they're also being used by big tech companies. So if you want to use my stuff, pay me. So this is where you put the license. So if you want to do that, but for now, just use the MIT. You can go online to see like what's the differences between those licenses. But for our case in here, you don't have to worry about that. And next one, this one is also important, okay? select GitHub default branch. Okay, so this depends on when you create your GitHub account. If you just create recently, most likely it will be main. In the past, it's called master, because a couple years ago there's like a Me Too movement, and this one is because master is like master and slave, right? It's like you get my point. So people try to ban the word master, and they change most of the change to this one. But I created my account a long time ago, so let me go to GitHub just to show you. If I go to my GitHub account, and then you go to maybe settings, this is where you find out your default branch, right? So I'm going to, on the left side here, there should be one, where is it? Account. I don't exactly remember where it is located. Maybe repository or something. There should be a branch, I remember. Let me see, repository. Yeah, so here, go to your settings and then repository, and see this one here. Is it master or main? Main, right? So whatever you use, you just use the same one. If this master, you use the master. If this main, you use main. So let me come back to here. And for me, it's master. You want to enter number 2. If you just main, just hit enter or enter 1. Either one is fine. And boom, done. This is where you create the template. It's done. And now we can go back to the folder. Take a look. GOS demo, right? Boom. You have all the files. So this file is exactly what I showed you earlier, the file structure of a Python package. So we have the setup.py, we have the requirements.txt, we also have the package name here inside. You're probably just going to find maybe 1 or 2 files, underscore init, and then also the file name. So this is basically the bare structure of a Python package. So throughout the semester, you want to add stuff to this one, or you can create more modules. And the underscore init.py is basically indicating this is a Python package. So I can later without import GEOS demo, import leaflet, import whatever, it's going to import the stuff from here. Okay, so this is right now, don't worry too much. What you need is this one. Okay, are we good now? Alright, so you see here, if you're really quick, this can be done within 3 minutes. Boom, 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 boom. Enter, and done. You can choose whatever name you like. Yes?
I'm confused as to like where you're creating this package. Like where is it? I'm just not sure how it's different from where you're sending something up in GitHub.
Yeah, not yet. Right now it's locally. We want to send to GitHub. So right now only you have access to this one. It's not published anywhere.
Okay.
So we're gonna publish to GitHub and then we're gonna publish to PyPI. For now, no one has access to this one yet. It's not on the internet, okay?
Okay.
And then later you have a better idea. Right now we're just creating something. You can think about your like ArcGIS, right? You can publish things on ArcGIS Online. You can push data to there. You can think about right now you're working the project locally, doing stuff. We haven't pushed to ArcGIS Online yet. Once it's online there, people can install, people can use, okay? So the next step is to push stuff in here. You will see a bunch of folder here, the documentation. This is I already built in, so you don't have to create a website. The website will be built automatically based on what we provide in the source code, okay? And we also have other files in here. If you open the requirement.txt, right now it should be empty. There's nothing in there, right? So later, if you build the package on top of others, you want to add the dependencies in here. We'll go through that later, but for now, let's just assume everything looks good. Now I have an app on the publish in the Apple Store, or I have an app on the publish on Windows App Store, whatever. So the next step is to create a repository so I can push the stuff to GitHub. And I have the steps in here. Let me come back this one. So the next step, create an empty GitHub repo with the same name as your package. Okay, so what we're going to do is create something on GitHub, basically an empty folder, and then we're going to push all my stuff from my local computer to GitHub. So next, head over to the GitHub here and then just create a new repository. That's it. And again, you're going to choose a name. So the repo name, again, use the same name that you use for your repo. So you want to GOS demo, okay. Again, don't use this name, okay. You need to use with your package name. You can write a description if you want. I can say Python package demo, whatever. And don't click anything else, okay. Just an empty one, otherwise you want to have trouble pushing stuff to GitHub. So just this one, and then this it. Make it open. Don't add a readme. Don't click anything in here. Just click create repository. That's it. And it's going to create an empty stuff. And this is where we're going to push the stuff. You're going to have the instruction in here, but we're going to use this one, git remote. So we're going to link our local folder to GitHub so we can push the stuff. And so go back to the website. The next step will be to run git init to initialize your Python package as a Git repository. Because earlier, when we create this one, you don't see a .git folder yet. So this is not a Git repository yet. So we need to initialize so that later we can push stuff to GitHub. So what you need to do, again, you can open your terminal within this folder or just cd into the folder. And what you need to just type git space init, okay, git space init, and pay attention to the directory in here. Is going to generate a directory called .git, and that makes a Git repository. Okay, just hit enter. It should take a couple seconds. Okay, initialize empty Git repository blah blah in here. Now you should see this one. Yes, do you see the empty Git repository here? Now it's a Git repository. And so the next step is to push this to GitHub. So we're going to use the instructions. Commit all the changes and push to GitHub. Okay. So come back to this one here. What we need is this instruction. So git remote add this one and then git branch. But before I do that, we need to commit the changes first. Okay. Otherwise, you cannot actually push anything. So what you can do is to open your repository using Visual Studio Code. You can use command line if you want, but I think it's easier to just to show you open Visual Studio Code, and then we can commit the changes, and then you can push the stuff to GitHub. Okay. So once it's open, on the left side here, I believe you should be able to see the files that hasn't been committed yet. Because this is the first time, it's going to take some time to look through. But later it's going to show you like this is the files that waiting for to be committed. Why is it taking so long? Okay, almost done. Until like see 28 files. Do you see this one? Yes. So what you need to do here is just commit the message, and you can just write a simple one. I will say just initial commit. Okay, and then just Control Enter. That means you're going to commit all the files, right? So it means right now we have something already committed, then we can push to GitHub, okay? So this is the step that's already completed. Don't publish branch yet. There's nothing in there yet. You cannot, can you do that? Maybe, let me try. The extension GitHub wants to sign in into, let me see. I've not done this before, so I'm not exactly sure if it allows or not. If not, we can use the command line. So open Visual Studio Code. Publish to GitHub. Publish to GitHub. Public repository. Do you see this one somewhere? Can you see this? I'm not sure, but if not, we can use the command line. Either one, I think it's fine. So let me see if I can try this one. If it doesn't work, we can try the other way. Oh, already exists, so it doesn't allow. So forget about that. Because I already created a repository, so it doesn't allow me to do that. So let's go back to here. Go back to instruction. So all you need, just copy the upper right corner here. Click this one, and then come back to your terminal. Okay. So here, just right click, and then paste anywhere. Hit enter. See that? You should see this one. You have successfully pushed the stuff to GitHub. Can you see this? Just again, come back to whatever the empty repo that you have. Copy this one, push to an existing repository from the command line. So just copy the line, and then the terminal from wherever your package is located, right? So you can cd into your package, and then just right click, hit enter. It should push your stuff to GitHub. Yes?
I got an error.
Do you have this package in here? This was Oh, have you committed the changes?
Yeah, I just committed the disk. Is it because the capitalization?
Yes, you need to be exactly the same. So if you are using a different directory, you're going to have trouble. Anyone else? Yes?
This is just like, for clarification, why do we move to the Visual Studio environment? Like,
Oh, later, because when you're doing the development, you can actually do everything just using the command line. You don't have to use Visual Studio Code.
okay.
This is just doing the git commit and then git push changes. The reason we use Visual Studio Code is because you type the message, you control enter, you claim everything. If you don't want to do that, you can do it like this. So here I can just make some changes, and I need to git commit dash m, write the message, and initial commit, hit enter. It's the same thing. Okay, Visual Studio just the interface allow you to do it.
It just makes things faster.
Yes,
Okay.
because later when you use throughout the semester, you need to write code, and if you are familiar with a git command, you're welcome to use that. You don't have to use Visual Studio Code for this particular step. Okay, so earlier when you open Visual Studio Code, write initial message and then control enter is the same as this line. You might also be able to find it from here. It's pretty much the same thing in here. Any issues? If you have questions or issues, ask. We'll make sure that you are able to push stuff together. Yes?
So, I'm not having issues like right now, but like earlier when we were doing the cookie cutter command, it kept saying the repository and then the URL could not be found. Have you made a typo? So I had to go into and just make a new repository.
Let me double check here.
I mean,
I had that same problem, and I think it was because I was.
I had to read.
Oh,
I
G,
was
no,
not using
GH.
command.
So this one, if your GH in needs to come from my repo, don't use your name because that one doesn't exist. So this, I think the question they're having is this one here. Use my package. You don't have a package.
Okay.
I create a template. You need to use my
do I
template.
need to restart or?
Yeah, you can start from scratch.
Okay.
You can do it again, but this step don't change it to your own account. You don't have that. So right now, if you haven't done it, just go through the steps again and use the cookie cutters, and then only when you after you enter this one, then you customize to your package, to your name. This one is mine. You need to use the one I created. Otherwise, GitHub is not able to find your package, so it's under my account, my package name. Any other issues? So if I go back right now to GitHub, refresh, right? It's on GitHub, right? Now it's on there. People will be able to, if you want to install package from GitHub, you can. And then I'm going to show you how you can actually publish to PyPI, so that you can have both. But it's already there. Actually, I right now I can install the package right now. So I'm going to show you here. Oh, it says there's an error. Don't worry, I will show you how to fix it later. But although it's not officially on PyPI yet, but I can actually install it. So if you want, all you need you can copy this URL. Just copy this URL, and then I can show you like how you can actually install it. So I'm going to come back to my terminal here, and again I'm going to contact activate activate GOS. Okay, so you can actually install packages from any GitHub repository as long as that repository is a Python package. So you can just type pip install and git plus. I believe you probably don't need it. I can just maybe press the URL. It might work. Let me try. If it doesn't, you need to put like git plus. Oh, cannot unpack the file. Download blah blah blah. Cannot detect archive format. Probably you need to put like git about. So I'm going to type this one here, and then git plus. Okay, git plus, and then the URL. Then this will work. Okay. And think about here. It's going to clone the repository. It's going to install, and then going to build the wheel, and then successfully build this one, and then install. Boom. We install the package. Now the package is actually within our computer. Okay, within our contact environment. Just like I showed you earlier. Side packages, you should now be able to find this one. So basically, you already create a package, you publish it, and then now anyone can install. But it'll be easier to just pip install and then the name of the package because we haven't published to PyPI yet. So right now you cannot install it yet from PyPI. But at least if you're having trouble publishing to PyPI, this is the way that you can install package from GitHub repository. So if I want to show you here, where is it located? Just like what I showed you earlier, right? The environment name, the lib packages, and scroll down, you should be able to find GOS demo or whatever name you use in here. Yes?
I'm just getting some errors.
Okay. One second. Okay. Git init. Okay. And then you will just open Visual Studio Code, or just git commit and then dash m, git commit dash m, and then double quotes, and then maybe initial commit, and then end double quotes, and then hit enter.
Yeah, I need to start.
Oh, you need to git add and then period. Git add and then period. Just stop and hit enter. And then use the arrow key to commit again. Okay, yeah, commit. Now it should work. Because earlier you need to put the file, the add all the file, which one you commit. So that's the one missing. And now you should be able to copy the code from
Go to your files.
go to your repository, the instruction. No, the repository. Oh, you already put, because you already pushed. So you now it's not an empty repository. Probably it's better to delete this one.
Okay.
So just settings.
Space.
Just delete the one. We create an empty one.
Okay, then we're created
In GitHub. Last one here, delete, and then just select all.
now.
And type all select. Copy. As I said earlier, when you create a report on GitHub, don't add any file. It needs to be an empty one. Okay, and then new repository. And then choose the name again. Okay, and then just create. Don't do anything. And now copy those 3 lines. Then on the next one. Okay. And then go to your terminal. Paste. Hit already you see find it fine. Give it the next 2 lines. Did any error?
Yes.
Please make sure you have to correct.
So this is what that is called, right?
Maybe you have not authenticated your GitHub on this computer, so they cannot push
Should I use this one?
How do I do that?
on the Open Visual Studio Code.
So just use this one again.
Open Visual Studio Code, see if you can push. Visual Studio Code sometimes asks you to log in, so yeah, open the directory to your. Anyone else having issues pushing to GitHub? Yes. You having issues?
No.
Okay. And see if you can log into account. I think it's just because in the past, if you already be able to push stuff to GitHub, you should be good. Otherwise, We can do it later, okay? For now, if you're having trouble, you have time to practice after class, but I want to make sure that we get to the PyPI part so that we can finish that, okay? So, as I mentioned earlier, I already installed the package, right? It's from we already installed from GitHub, so now we are good to go to the next step, okay? So here, let me come back. Here, we already finished this one. So the next step is come to here. We're going to create a package and then upload to PyPI. So this is that they're going to use run Python setup.py and sdist. So all we need to do is just copy this line and then Control C, come back to the package in here. Again, you need to CD into your package. And let me open this one here, right? Just to show you what it's going to create, right? So if I right click and then hit enter, it's going to generate the package. And on the left side here, you should create a new folder, right? It says creating tar archive, and if you double click get in there, you should see this one. Can you see this one on your computer? If you cannot publish to GitHub, that's fine. Don't worry about that. You can do that later. But we are going to publish to PyPI. So PyPI has nothing to do with GitHub. You can just upload files to the PyPI. So can you see this file on your computer? It's under your name and then your dist. So under the directory dist. So what you are doing here is you copy this one, Python setup.py sdist. On your command line and then just hit enter. It should generate that package. So that's basically the package that people can download and install. Yes? Okay. And once you're here, so the next step is to use the twine. So twine is the basically program used by PyPI allow you to upload packages. So when you're gonna copy this one, twine upload dist. And there's a star here. That means we're going to upload all the stuff within this folder. But you can just you can specify a name if you want. So let me show you here. Let me clear my console. Oops. So you'll be like this, okay? Twine. If you just type twine and then just enter, it's going to show you like you need to provide the argument. So basically, twine is a program, a command line program. So I'm going to twine. Upload, and then you can just dist slash. So here you'll be G. So I can just type GEO something and then hit tab. It's going to auto complete. So essentially, what we're doing here, we're going to upload this file to PyPI. So in the instruction, I just type like dist and then a star doc something. That means sometimes you might have multiple versions of your package in there. You can upload all at once. But you can just upload just specifically just this file, whatever you want to choose. So I think the easy way would be just to, I don't really care how many in there. I just want to upload all of them. So you have version 0.01, 0.02. You can do that all at once. Okay, so I'm going to remove this. Just copy and paste. Hit enter. And okay, it's going to ask your username. So again, enter your username, your PyPI username. So I'm going to enter my name. It might not work because I'm not sure if I create the API token, but let's try. Okay, just enter your username and then enter your password. Okay, the password is not going to show up, so it's going to be empty here. And I'm not sure if it works or not. So enter your password, hit enter. If it doesn't allow you, it's going to show up any error message. Boom, it's done. Can you see the green stuff in here? And then click. Or you can just select this one and then copy, Control C, and then paste in here. We're done. Make sure you see this one. Anyone? Yes?
Well, I restarted and I got to the point where you get to the git push, and I'm getting that error code. I think maybe the same one.
Okay. So make sure you see the PyPI. Yes? How many of you?
Okay, so I restarted so that I can remember why I want to do that git push.
you need to commit first. So open Visual Studio Code. And then open the directory.
I need my verification email. Oh, it's sitting there. I can't do it.
So how many you see the PyPI? Raise your hand. One? Only one?
Sorry, I got an error.
Okay, 1 second. Open your package name.
Oh my gosh.
No, I don't see this is the one. It's empty in there. Where's your directory? Go back to open the terminal. Where's the name? No, within the folder. What's the name of the package?
It should just be
Did you change the repos to repository?
because I had to go.
No, this is not. This one is not right. So you need to. It's not there. So the name is not. Yeah, you probably need to redo it. You're not doing it correctly, I believe. Because it's empty. There's nothing. There's no file here. Let me show you after class. I think we should be. Yeah, it's not. Don't worry about that. If it doesn't work, it's okay. I can show you like step by step one more time, or you can watch the video. It's not. This is not something like super complicated. It's a couple steps. Once you're getting familiar, it should only take you less than 5 minutes to create a new package using the template, and then just push it to PyPI. Okay. Anyone else having issues?
I just want. What am I supposed to be doing? What am I supposed to put? Here's my folder, but I don't know how to like change it and push it.
So here you change it, right?
This is my this is my lab.
Oh, just click the undo. Yeah, not this one. Yeah. And has you already pushed to GitHub?
No, because it's right here. Here's my map.
Oh, so just close all the directory and then reopen. Just open the directory for your. No, go to file. The file menu, and then close all the folder. Yeah, close workspace. I think it's like
That's fine.
yeah. Just don't save. Just close everything. Because I think you open like multiple folder in there, so you get confused. And then open the folder to your to your package. And then yeah, so this is where you.
So you can't do more than.
Oh, it's
I have it.
have you tried a Git init? Is it already a GitHub repository? You probably haven't done
Yeah, I
it.
already have it.
It's not showing up, so it's not a repository yet. Go to your package directory.
Go to the
You
website.
wanna open your file explorer.
Actually, it's right.
Yeah, it's not a Git directory, so go back.
It's right here.
No,
Is it this?
no, this is it needs to be within your directory, package directory, not the downloads directory. Open your file explorer.
Repository, so it actually go back.
Go into the directory.
Your terminal Git.
Yeah, and then from here open the terminal. Git init here. You don't find a .git directory there yet.
Oh.
So you be
Maybe
Git
back to your
init.
file, see if it was there.
Hit enter. Yeah, and then you can go back to Visual Studio Code, and then it should be there. Yes. Hey, nice. How are you? Good. Thanks for coming. Come on in. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, so we're just gonna hang out and test our code.
Yeah, well, just yeah. Well, feel free to. We are working on some like creating packages.
Just the software development.
Yeah.
I mean, the Initialize we just. So Dr. Wu is all things Python.
Yeah, Python. Yeah.
Google Earth Engine, all the stuff.
Yeah, you're welcome to like sit and.
I gotta take him out to meet Dr. Nagel here in a few minutes,
Okay,
so
yeah,
it'll be
sure.
a quick trip.
Oh my gosh.
Good. Okay, I like the name. Space Finder. That's cool. That's a cool name.
So handle these.
Geospatial. That's
Fast is back there in the back working on
what?
Will here. Will's beginning to go do a bunch of stuff. And Tracy is also doing coding. She's cool things in
Yeah, I think your password is like when you get involved with, you're not entering correctly. So try again.
I'm just copying. First they talk to you about
This should say like
Yeah, you probably just type, you need to maybe change the password because you have any special characters, so it's not being recognized.
Wait, I am in this folder.
Then we just the username, password is
Yeah, I just need a.
okay.
yeah, here.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay, take care.
It's okay.
Oh, okay. I know.
Oh, yeah, you need to verify. I think this is just a motion.
Yeah, right?
I wasn't one of you.
Spa tour. Oh, okay.
Somewhere.
Anyone else? Successfully published?
You're saying
No.
No?
I'm just.
Okay, this.
I'm still here. Like that's.
Okay.
I'm in the right place, right? So it's like that, and then I just change. Is that what I name the repo here after I?
No. It's the name. The same name as your.
Okay, the same name as that.
What is the repo name? Okay. Yeah, the fragment.
Okay.
Just hit enter. 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 Enter.
Means change directory.
Just enter. Doesn't care. Yeah. What's your PyPI username? Is it an uppercase?
Yeah.
Okay, then enter. Enter. Enter.
You can now go.
Enter. Enter.
I see it.
And yeah, enter. Yeah, enter. And then is it main or master? Main. Okay, enter. Okay, all done. And then CD into the directory. CD into space the name of your package fragment or something.
Click here.
No, not yet. Not this one. CD Mac. The name of the package. Is it a frag name or?
And here.
Yeah. No, you don't need to. Just CD
Just see that.
the name of your package and then hit tab. It's autocomplete. Yeah. Enter. And then git init. Init. Enter. All done. And then open Visual Studio Code. And then have you created a repo on GitHub?
Not yet. And
Okay.
then that's the next one. For
Yeah.
that.
Then create a repo and then you should be able to push. Yeah, I think roughly half of you already have that, and some of you are having the authentication issue with PyPI. That's just your account, so you just need to make sure that you verify your email and then you can enter your username and password correctly. Then you should have the same stuff like I see in here. Okay, so for now you're gonna see like PyPI version 0.01. Conda, we haven't published the Conda yet, so that will be later this semester. So we want to make a package available both on PyPI and also Conda first. So we're going to do that later. Conda first is a bit more complicated. But again, for now, this is pretty much it. So next I'm going to create another one just to like have one more walkthrough. I'm going to create a new package so you can see how quickly it can get done, and then you can publish to PyPI if needed. Okay, so we have 10 minutes. I can create 2 more packages. Okay, so I'm going to show you like how fast it is. Don't be like frustrated. It's not that difficult. You just need to make sure everything works properly. So okay, let's go. So I'm going to maybe under my repo. So okay, I'm going to right click, open here, and so let me go back to the instruction here. So pretty much the other stuff I've done. So all I need is basically create a cookie character. So copy, come back to here. Okay, conda activate ACTIVATGOS, and then just paste this one. Hit enter. Okay, it's already download. So yes. And then full name, okay, my name, okay, you'll be my email, and then GitHub username, okay, project name. So now I need to choose a new one. So GOS demo or GOS, what the name would be? GOS haha. Okay. Okay. And then repo name fine. Gig slack fine. I don't need to change anything pretty much. You can just hit enter. The only thing I need to change is the master or the main. Okay, so I'm going to just choose master because I'm using master. Done. Okay, so now I have this GOS haha package here. Okay, just right click, get into that, and then I can just open the terminal again to initialize this as a GitHub repository. So git init, hit enter. So now it's a Git repository. So the next step is to go to GitHub repository here, and then one click, just press here, new repository, and then you'll be GOS haha. Okay, and then select my name. That's it. Create new repository. Okay, 2 minutes, right? 3 minutes. Okay, so let's open Visual Studio Code. Now I already create a repository, so now I can open Visual Studio Code just to commit all the changes, or I can just do it from the command line. Either way is fine. So I can maybe show you how to do that in command line. So here I don't need Visual Studio Code. I can just git add period. So that means we're going to pretty much commit all the files, add all the files, and then just git commit dash m, and you'll be initial commit. Okay, hit enter, done. And then come back to here, copy this, paste anyway, yes. Take some time, boom. Okay, refresh, done. Okay, next step, what should we do? Right, you be try upload. Need to no, the Python setup dot p Python setup dot py sdist. You can copy the command line if you want. So we're creating a package, all done, and then try upload dist star, hit enter. Oops. Oh, it's not activated. Conda activate GOS, and then try upload dist, and then star, hit enter. Okay, my username, my password. See how long? 3 minutes.
3 minutes and 45 seconds.
Okay, like less than 5 minutes. You see, just follow my steps. So if you really need to like quick, just watch the video. You should be able to get it done in 5 minutes. And that's done, right? So now I can just copy this one. Take a look at it. See? Don't get frustrated. It's super easy actually. You just need to follow steps. So I have all the steps in there. And watch the video. You should be able to get it now. Okay. This is super basic. And the more time that we're going to spend on is how to add functions to the package. For now, just trying to create the template and then push the files on GitHub, push the files on PyPI. That's it. It's nothing super complicated. Okay, so for those of you who like finish in class, perfect. Create another one. Spend 5 minutes. Create a new package. Or for the lab assignment for this week, I need to see 2 packages. Okay, whatever you want. One for real, one for fake, or 2 real. It's up to you. And then, so I'm going to see that on GitHub. I want to see that on PyPI. That's it. You don't need to add any functionality. If you want, go ahead. But I just want to make sure that you can successfully publish, and then you can start installing this one on the computer, right? So it's already there. Like I said, I can come back to here. Now I can just pip install GOS. Haha. It's to install correctly. So I'm gonna install stuff, downloading from PyPI, and then it's gonna install to your computer. So starting tomorrow, and I can actually show you how you can actually activate activate the documentation, the website. So let me quickly go back to here. Maybe let me use the Geo demo OS. Just quickly show you what it's doing. So GOS demo, right? The one that we created earlier. And as I mentioned, you see the sign here. That means the website is not created yet. So all we need to do is to if you want, you can take a look at this one. You can click, and then you can see the instructions saying that what is the error? I think it's the permission or something. Blah, blah. Yeah, permission to write this one deny. So because GitHub make changes to the permission, so all you need to do is to go to this one here, click the link, and then open this one. So you just need to make sure that this is so GitHub action basically is like a robot automatically publishing the stuff. So once you open this one, I don't know why it's open specifically for this one. It should be the whatever. Don't open this one. It probably cannot open. So what you need to do is to go to your. Let me show you here. Go to the package repository, and then settings, and then scroll down to the here actions. I think it's this one here. Your repository actions, and then scroll down all the way to the bottom. Change this one, read and write permissions. So because we want to allow GitHub to do things on your behalf, so you need to make sure that GitHub has the permission. So I'm going to save, and then it's done. Now I can come back to this one here, click. I will show you next time. I mean again, but for now I'm just quickly going to fix the problem. And you should see the error. So upper right corner here, there's one read one all the jobs. So I'm going to read one the jobs. So this one essentially going to build a website, and then our package will have a website that you can allow people to have access. I mean, this is just the source code, but you can build a website just like LeafMap or GMap. Okay. So again, you can. We don't have time, but I just want to quickly fix the problem and then show you how you can activate a website. Everything is automatic, so you don't need to actually do that manually. Again, right? So earlier we used 3 minutes and 40 seconds to do that. This one will take another a minute. And then 5 minutes, you have a website up and running. So if you want, you can click this one just to show you like behind the scene what it's doing. It's going to build the package, and it's going to build the website, and then we have the website up and running very, very quickly. Okay. Hopefully everything will be successful. Boom, done. And then, so all you need to do, go to the settings. On the left side, there's one called pages. So what you need to do is to select this one, branch, deploy from GitHub pages, and then yes, click save. I will show you next time, okay? In next lecture. But for today, we just to make sure that it works properly. And so now go to actions. You see, it's pages building and deploying. We should have a website up and running in 30 seconds. Okay, so maybe a little bit more than 5 minutes, but it's fine. So here. Once it's done, then you will see that you want to join a link, and the link is your website. It's the website to your package, and it's hosted on GitHub pages. Or see your name.github.io, and then it will be the name of your repo. That's it. So let me click. Oops. Why is it not working here? So click the link. Boom. See? This is like GMap, LeafMap, right? You have a menu here, you have documentation, everything is in here. So you can add stuff, you can add API, for example. It's going to, so this is exactly like how I built LeafMap and GMap. You can see it's exactly the same, but I just have more content. But the template, everything else is based on the template that I created. So it makes it really easy that now if you want to create a Python package, 5 minutes, you get the bare the empty shell, then we can start adding stuff throughout the semester. So if you can get this one before you get out of here, perfect. If not, spend time and then watch the video in the last few minutes, and I will show you again on Thursday. So make sure this one is up and running, then you can start adding stuff. Okay, any questions? If not, I'll see you on Thursday.